As the White House tries to reassure people that these drones, whatever they are up there, pose no threats to national security or the public, videos of these flying objects, let's call them, they've gone viral, a lot of them. You've probably seen them, racking up tens of thousands of views on social media, sparking a lot of worry among a lot of people. House and Senate lawmakers, they're demanding that top federal law enforcement officials immediately brief them about these mysterious sightings.
Well, according to our next guest, he says there is definitely a UAV component to these activities in the skies above, and that the government has actually known about them for some time. Jeffrey Needles is a retired Air Force officer, fighter pilot, and expert in air dominance systems. It's great to have you here and just give us a different perspective. So what do you think is going on?
Well, it's important to note that the FAA, representing the United States government, has restricted overflight of UAVs over the Picatinny Arsenal in New Jersey as of 25 November, as well as over Bedminster as of 6 December. So what this would indicate is sort of a public acknowledgement that this is a UAV issue and that the government's known about it since before Thanksgiving. They haven't restricted any other aircraft, just UASs.
So it's drones. Some component of it, because John Kirby got up before the country yesterday, said nothing to worry about. And by the way, these things are manned aircraft. What would they be, ultralights or something like that?
I think that there's more than likely an awful lot of sightings that are legitimate civil aviation. And we're reaching a fever pitch as the community is aware of this news story that everybody with a cell phone is going to take that thing out and shoot a picture of a 737 shooting the approach into Newark. But the reality is that you have state officials in New Jersey and other agencies that have doubled down and said, no, this is definitely UAV activity. So then you subdivide that into what's left. Is it government or contractor drones? Is it hobbyists or state or non-state actors? You can probably disregard the first bit because A, the government's not doing many operations in that part of the world, and we would have known about it. Usually there's public notification that goes with government or government contractor operations. Okay. So that really leaves you with hobbyists or state or non-state actors.
So what's more likely, you think?
It could potentially go either way. It is important to note that we've seen similar activity over Langley Air Force Base last December, which shut down the airspace for quite some time, as well as last month over several U.S. air bases in the United Kingdom, where we've seen, again, large drone formations that have shut down the airspace. So I'm not suggesting it is the exact same actors, but it has a certain hallmark.
Well, so those are previous examples of something like this happening. And now this has been going on for what? 3, 4, 5 days?
Right.
Why can't we figure it out? They're just a few hundred feet up there, right?
Actually, it's been going on since about the middle of November, and we only issued those flight restrictions as of, like I said, they started on the 25th of November. So the question is, like, how do we know? You know, the answer is always sort of yes, no, and maybe. There are things that the government does know that the government doesn't want to tip its hand to, because then it would demonstrate to a foreign adversary that that we have certain capabilities or methods of collecting on us while they're watching us, and
that's classified. You don't announce that.
Exactly. You don't say those things out loud.
Yeah.
The next piece is the no answer, which is, you know, a lot of times the U.S. people, you assume that the sensors and radars of the United States government are this all-seeing, all-knowing apparatus. There's actually quite a few gaps, and the capabilities aren't as strong in every square inch or every cubic inch of U.S. airspace that we'd like to have them looking. So it's just a plain limitation of physics and number of systems that are out there. And finally, the maybe. Sometimes there are just straight up anomalies that are detected in systems, and we just don't know what those things are.
You're talking about aliens?
Not talking about aliens, but false detections and things like that, where somebody takes it back and they say, oh, there's a range anomaly or some other anomaly in detections, and we just weren't able to determine what we think we were looking at.
This is good stuff. Yeah.
Very good stuff.
And you know what? Something's happening, because you see how the lights are going dark? That's actually something's going on in the studio, which probably means there is something flying over ahead as Jeffrey. Oh, and now here comes the light back. I'm telling you, something's going on.
They're listening.
Jeffrey, somebody's following you. Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
We brought in the retired military. Things got real. Seriously, the insight's fantastic.
Thank you so much.
And you're speaking from firsthand experience. It helps us a lot. Thanks,
we'll probably
Jeffrey.
have you back.
Yes.
Happy.
Hope you don't mind.
Who will play you in the movie?
Oh, I don't know. I'll start working on that.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks again to Jeffrey Needles.